Most people believe that how you start your morning doesn't really affect your heart. You wake up, you get out of bed, maybe grab a cup of coffee, go about your routine. It feels normal, safe, something you've done for years without thinking twice. But what if I told you that one small mistake many seniors make within the first 5 minutes of waking up could quietly increase the risk of dizziness, falls, heart strain, and in some cases, even strokes? A few years ago, a 72-year-old patient named Harold came into clinic after a fall in his home. It happened early in the morning. He had just gotten out of bed, stood up quickly, and within seconds, he felt the room spin. He tried to steady himself, but his body didn't respond fast enough. He collapsed. At first, it seemed like a simple accident. Maybe he stood up too fast. Maybe he was just tired. But when we looked deeper, the real cause wasn't the fall itself. It was what happened inside his body in those first few seconds after waking up. And here's the part that surprises most people. This isn't rare. Millions of adults over the age of 60 experience the exact same physiological shift every single morning. But they don't realize what's happening or why it can be dangerous. During sleep, your blood pressure naturally drops. Your heart rate slows. Your body enters a state of deep rest. But when you suddenly wake up and move too quickly, your body has to rapidly adjust. Blood flow shifts. Pressure changes. The heart and brain must react instantly. In younger people, this adjustment happens smoothly, almost automatically. But after 60, that system becomes slower, and when the body can't adjust fast enough, even a small mistake in your morning routine can create a moment of instability, a moment where blood flow to the brain briefly drops, balance is affected, and the heart is suddenly under stress. The good news is, this is not something you need to fear. It's something you need to understand. Because once you understand what's happening, there are simple changes you can make that can significantly reduce this risk. In this video, I'm going to explain what this common morning mistake is, why it becomes more dangerous as we age, the warning signs your body may already be showing, and most importantly, what you should be doing instead. And make sure you stay with me. Because the third mistake is the one that cardiologists say causes the highest number of early morning falls in people over 65. Why the body becomes vulnerable in the morning after 60. When we talk about heart health, most people focus on diet, exercise, and medication. But very few people think about what happens inside the body during the transition from sleep to waking. And yet, this is one of the most sensitive periods for the cardiovascular system. During sleep, your body is in a completely different state than when you are awake. Blood pressure drops naturally. Heart rate slows down. Blood flow redistributes across the body. This is all part of a normal recovery process that allows your heart and brain to rest. But the moment you wake up, everything begins to change. Your body has to shift from a resting state to an active state. Blood pressure needs to rise. The heart must pump more forcefully. Blood needs to be pushed upward toward the brain as you sit or stand. In a younger body, this transition happens almost instantly. The nervous system sends signals. Blood vessels tighten. The heart adjusts. You stand up, and everything feels stable. But after the age of 60, this system becomes slower and less responsive. Your blood vessels may not tighten as quickly. The sensors that detect pressure changes, called baroreceptors, take longer to respond, and your heart may not immediately adjust to sudden movement. This creates a short window of instability. It may only last a few seconds, but during those seconds, blood flow to the brain can drop slightly. And that's when symptoms like dizziness, lightheadedness, or loss of balance can occur. For many people, this feels like a minor inconvenience, something they've experienced occasionally and ignored. But here's the important part. That moment of instability is not harmless. In some cases, it can lead to falls. In others, it can place sudden strain on the heart. And in individuals with underlying cardiovascular conditions, It may increase the risk of more serious events. Doctors refer to this as orthostatic stress, a sudden change in blood pressure when moving from lying down to standing, and it becomes more common with age. Now, this doesn't mean every person over 60 will experience serious problems, but it does mean that the body becomes less tolerant of sudden changes. And this is why morning habits matter more than most people realize. Because the way you move in those first few minutes after waking can either support your body's transition or make it harder. And this leads us to something many people never think about. There are specific warning signs your body may already be showing, signs that this system is not working as smoothly as it should. And most people ignore them completely. In the next part, we'll talk about those signs. And one of them is something millions of seniors experience every day without realizing what it means. Hidden warning signs. Most seniors ignore. Before something serious happens, the body almost always gives small signals. The problem is that these signals are often subtle, and many people assume they are simply part of getting older. One of the most common signs is dizziness when standing up. You get out of bed, and for a moment, the room feels slightly unsteady. Maybe your vision dims briefly. Maybe you feel like you need to hold on to something. Most people brush this off, but this is one of the clearest signs that your body is struggling to adjust blood pressure quickly enough. Another common symptom is morning fatigue. You wake up, but you don't feel refreshed. Your body feels heavy. Your energy is low. You may assume it's poor sleep, but in some cases, it can be related to how your circulation behaved during the night and early morning. Some people also experience what they describe as brain fog. They feel slower mentally. It takes longer to focus. Words don't come as easily. This can sometimes be linked to reduced blood flow to the brain during those critical transition moments. There are also physical signs. Weakness in the legs, slight unsteadiness when walking, a feeling that your balance is not as strong as it used to be. Again, these symptoms are often dismissed, but when they occur regularly, they may be signals that your cardiovascular system is under stress during position changes. Let me give you a simple example. A 68-year-old woman I once spoke with said she always felt slightly dizzy when she got out of bed, but only for a few seconds. She never thought it was important. One morning, those few seconds lasted just a little longer, and she lost her balance. That single moment changed everything. This is why awareness matters, because these small symptoms are not random. They are your body's way of telling you that something needs attention. And the earlier you recognize them, the easier it becomes to make simple adjustments that can protect your health. But the question is, what exactly is causing this? What is the specific mistake that triggers these changes in the morning? Because once you understand that, everything becomes clearer. And in the next part, we're going to talk about the exact morning habits that may be putting unnecessary stress on your heart and circulation. Habits that millions of seniors repeat every day without realizing the impact. The dangerous morning mistake. Most seniors make the mistake is simple, and that's exactly why it's so common. Most people wake up and immediately sit or stand up quickly. No pause, no transition, no time for the body to adjust. It feels natural. You've done it your entire life. But after 60, this sudden movement can create a sharp drop in blood pressure before your body has time to compensate. When you go from lying down to standing in one quick motion, gravity pulls blood toward your lower body. At the same time, your brain is still expecting steady blood flow. For a brief moment, there's a mismatch. Blood pressure drops. The brain receives less blood. The heart suddenly has to respond. And that's when dizziness, imbalance, or even fainting can occur. Now, for some people, this is just a mild sensation. But for others, especially those with high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart conditions, this sudden shift can be more serious. It can increase the risk of falls. It can strain the heart. And in certain cases, it can trigger dangerous cardiovascular responses. Another common variation of this mistake is going straight from bed to activity. Some people wake up and immediately start walking, rushing to the bathroom, or moving quickly without giving their body time to stabilize. This compounds the problem, because not only is the body adjusting to standing, it's also dealing with movement, balance, and coordination at the same time. And remember, this all happens within seconds of waking. There's no warning, no preparation, just a sudden demand on a system that is no longer as fast as it once was. And here's something most people don't realize. This risk is highest in the morning, because that's when blood pressure is at its lowest point. That's when the body is least prepared for sudden changes. And that's when the cardiovascular system is most vulnerable. The good news is, this mistake is incredibly easy to fix. And in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly what to do instead. Simple steps that can make your morning safer and reduce unnecessary stress on your heart. What you should do. Instead, safe morning routine. Protecting your heart in the morning doesn't require anything complicated. It starts with one simple idea. Give your body time to adjust. When you wake up, don't rush. Instead of sitting or standing immediately, take a moment. Lie still for a few seconds. Let your body transition naturally from sleep to wakefulness. Then slowly sit up on the edge of your bed. Pause again. This step is critical. It allows your blood pressure to begin adjusting gradually instead of all at once. After sitting, wait another 20-30 seconds. Let your body stabilize. Then stand up slowly. Not quickly. Not suddenly. Just a controlled, steady movement. This simple sequence, lie, sit, pause, stand, can significantly reduce the sudden drop in blood pressure that causes dizziness and instability. Another helpful habit is gentle movement. Before standing, you can move your legs slightly, flex your feet, or rotate your ankles. This helps improve circulation and prepares your body for standing. Hydration also plays a role. After waking up, drinking a small amount of water can help support blood pressure and circulation, especially if your body is slightly dehydrated from sleep. And finally, be aware. Pay attention to how your body feels. If you notice dizziness, don't ignore it. Sit back down. Give your body time. These are not signs of weakness. They are signals. And listening to those signals is one of the most powerful things you can do for your health. The goal is not to create fear. The goal is control. Because once you understand how your body works, small changes can make a big difference. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit. A parent, a friend, or anyone over 60. And remember, your health is not about reacting to problems after they happen. It's about understanding your body before they do. Take care of yourself.